Dplus after having lost versus Sonics yesterday. The real question is, how are they going to fare up against the Falcons? Fresh, I'll come to you first.
I think, to be fair for Dplus, I think we was expecting much more from them yesterday.
Yes.
I think we was expecting, out of all the teams from Japan, Korea, all of Asia Pacific, that they would possibly be the best out of them. And then they put in, I would say, an okay performance on their attacks, a couple of things let them down. But then the ultimate scoreline was, to me, at least a worrying one.
Yeah, I think for me, yesterday, we definitely didn't see the best out of Dplus. We were expecting to see a little bit more from scoreline. We were expecting to see a better fight versus the Sonics. And overall, they underperformed, in my opinion, Jasmine.
Yeah, I think it was definitely unfortunate for both of these teams, but I need to quiz you a little bit on this. Dark Zero yesterday had made a point of banning Ace versus Falcons, obviously due to the fact that they have Valentino stepping in for them as a substitute. Do we see other teams kind of following suit?
I think when you see when you're competitors in sport and esport, and you see what is unfortunately a very forced weakness because, of a player not being here and Valentino having to step in on the IGL, you do everything in your power to make it as uncomfortable as possible. When he's changed roles from a fragger, like you say, into an IGL, into a hard spot, he's not molded to play Fairmite or Habana. He's going to want that good gun.
He does.
Take it away from him.
He wants the AK-12. He wants that ability to still perform in other parts. And I think you kind of look at it and you go, that's almost quite a DZ thing to do, really.
Oh, absolutely,
NA are very counterplay based. That's what they're going to look to do. They're going to look to try and exploit and pick a specific counter and figure that out. There's other play styles to go for. You can just be, try and be good. You can try and be as good as you can be and remove that sort of thing. Or you can focus more on debilitating your opponent, and I think that's what DZ tried to do. One
thing that I will say though for Falcons is they went to Theme Park, right, which is a very big map that requires a lot of clearing, a lot of coordination, a lot of team play, but also a lot of breaching. There's a lot of maps in Rainbow Six right now where you don't necessarily need the breaches. I think we've seen a lot of teams play without breaches, even on traditional maps where you need them, your villas, your cafes, that type of stuff. So if Falcons can navigate the map ban system a little bit better, I don't think any target bans towards Valentino could be as effective as they were yesterday.
Well, for the side of Falcons, they don't necessarily have the biggest amount of international competitive experience amongst them. How do we think they're going to look to approach this game now versus Dplus?
I mean, I think they've probably settled into the tournament at this point, knowing with their 5. We saw them last year at an international event. We've seen them, in 3 best of 1s now. But from speaking to them, genuinely, I've been up, I've spoken to a couple of the players. They're just vibing. They're absolutely loving life. Just the fact that they're here and representing, their region.
Oh, they're going to be loving it. They're going to be feeling like, this is the time for them to, really sort of stretch their legs and to have that experience playing internationally.
And when we talk about the map, Veto, any areas that we think they'll be more comfortable in?
Well, I was looking at these last 2 maps straight away, and I was thinking, this is definitely targeted from Falcons because Chalet and Villa, for the longest time for dpluskia, in terms of their history, I've been, covering them for 2 years at this point in talent work, is they love Chalet and Villa. It's part of I used to call it as part of their big 3 alongside Clubhouse. So the fact that they're the last 2 maps, Falcons wanted to go here. And if you know how, Villa plays out, it should also suit Falcons. There's not many places for Dplus to kind of create power positions. It's very fluid. It'll allow them their opportunities to be aggressive, which they didn't necessarily have yesterday.
Yeah, what are we anticipating to see from this matchup, though? Do you think it's going to be a comfortable victory, or do you think we're going to end up having another overtime?
I think running with the theme of the day, there is a very good chance that we see a lot of rounds here on Villa. I guess it's only good that we haven't got Ace and Des on it, because then it'd be guaranteed all the way.
Well, Jesse's gone. Jesse was part of the last 2 overtimes,
Jesse was
right?
part of it, wasn't he? So maybe he was the curse, but I'm expecting to see a good result here from both teams. I'm expecting to see both of them push it. I think there's opportunities for Falcons.
Agreed.
Because there aren't as many opportunities for a team like Dplus to play in unpredictable ways. It's Villa. You know what you're going to be getting here most of the time.
Well, I want to hear from Guz and Xenox to let us know. Do we think it's going to go to overtime?
Well, that seems to be the theme at the moment, guys. Obviously, 2 for 2 from our first 2 games today, but I'm going to disagree. I think Falcons are too good. I think that they go into this one as the heavy favourites and should get the job done in regulation.
Heavy?
Heavy.
Against South Korea's best?
Yep, 100%.
Okay. I'm not going to argue too much. I would say slight favourites. I'm not going to go as far as to say heavy, but Falcons have played the Veto well. Villa, as the analyst said, is a map that they are going to be quite comfortable on. They start defense as well, so if they can get off to a good start, apply pressure to dpluskia, I think they're in a good spot.
Well, since you're the one with a bit of copium here, since you don't think it's as heavy favourites, I want your thoughts for Dplus coming into this. Where are their win conditions for this particular match? What have they got to do good at to stop the Falcons? A team that's obviously already made a name for themselves at this tournament, previous tournaments gone by. They're very respected. They've been able to compete against some of the top teams, whereas as we've seen from teams from Korea, Japan, they've struggled.
I think it's about having the structures in place, especially on attack, to get Yas inside of the server and playing well. Top-rated player for the team throughout the South Korea League at a 1.24, +8 on entry, but overall he went 94, 62. Again, it's not like these numbers are absolutely lighting the world on fire, but he can be a key win condition for Dplus.
Now, what's interesting here, Falcons have banned out the blitz. Now, on Villa, especially in the Korea League, we do see on AVG, which is typically the most difficult site to crack, what a teams do in Korea, and even sometimes we've seen in Japan, they bring the blitz and they just rush brown stairs and hope that they can clear out that position from there, try and get a bit of side control. Doesn't always work, but yeah, Falcons obviously have done their homework and just making sure that Dplus won't get sort of that freebie round on a really good defensive site like AVG. Lion, Goyo are going to get banned out as well. So actually some rather different bans in here than what we're used to probably seeing so far at the major.
Well, mirrored around things out, so there are a lot of powerful operators on both sides that have remained up, the likes of the Azami and Valk in particular on defense. Attack can be a little bit more fluid on a map like Villa, but still interesting to note that Falcons went with a target ban.
Alrighty, big game coming up. Both of these two teams would not want to be 0-2 at the end of the day. The best from Korea. What can Dplus do? Of course, they got kind of humiliated by the Sonics yesterday. 2-7, not good enough for me. I think they've got to improve. They've got to find their footing coming into the second day. Good opportunity for them to sort of build on from yesterday, go back last night, look at the VODs and see what they can do to improve. But as we come over to Villa, it is Falcons in the first half on the defense that, in my opinion, should get off to a good start. Villa in the Korean League, every single site has an above 60% defensive win rate. So I am fully expecting Dplus to do well defensively. But what we're going to find out in the first half is whether or not they've got the ability to slice this defense apart from the Falcons. It is going to be AVG to start with. Aviator Games, first round.
5 seconds to go. Attackers must locate.
I think it's going to be tough to attack, right? So Solace also available, one that we didn't mention, sneaking through the ban phase. So getting information early, going for map sweeps with pre-placed info with those drones will be quite difficult. So we may see teams employ a slightly more direct approach, lean into the Flores and those Roteros to deal with the appropriate utility. Perhaps even a hybrid of both. Boogeyman will post up over to a study. Typically on an objective like AVG, you will have at least one attacker posted up in that position, more so towards the mid to late round to apply a pinch as the rest of the team goes for the map sweep. And on the topic of the sweep, Mad Skills, Falcons looking to play contact.
Very curious to see how Dplus are going to play this as well, whether or not they go sort of the aggressive pathway or if they slow it down. We saw a little bit obviously in our last game with the Japanese region from Scars at times. I felt they were at their best when they did slow things down a little bit and then rushed off of that rather than slow the whole way through. So a little bit more controlled in their aggression. Mad Skills takes a big chunk of damage to start this round off. Not ideal on the Azami, but can now find a position to maybe bunker down, play off those keeper barriers, play safe from here. Try not to probably be the one to go for the engagement. It is Valentino, though, through the softball. Finds the headshot on Dakota. That's a wonderful opening kill for Falcons. Yas gets into a bit of an engagement as well. He does get the trade. No kills. And a sneaky little position here, obviously. 90 seconds. Has he been droned out? I think that's a miss drone, and it is. So complete miss drone, but did get shot out by the Solace in the end anyway.
Yeah, that would have been a disaster, but dpluskia now aware of the hold over towards red stairs, or at least the one that was there. Zero Kills has rotated off back towards Skull. Still though, playing a precarious position. Minute on the clock, and P9 lit up. That's the pressure being applied from Boogeyman on that pinch. Joker 619 down below, could prep for a jump out. Boogeyman jumps on drone, so he is momentarily vulnerable, but Joker elects not to go for the jump out. A pretty low percentage play if they don't have direct information outside, but he goes for another pick. Won't find much, though.
It's a low percentage round at the moment. 40 seconds left. They don't have anything top brown. Study still has a lot of utility as well. And look at the 90 control from O-Kills. So a lot of the key areas that you want to attack Aviator Games is still being defended by Falcons. There's not really a whole lot of room here. Maybe a push through landing in towards Aviator is about the best that they've got, especially against a low health Azami. And they do get that kill, opens things up. They got the numbers. Got to clear out this vault position as well. Sounds like they're opening that one up over towards 90, and they will through Soldier. 15 seconds left with one player advantage for Dplus to take the opening site of Aviator Games. This would be the perfect start, and they get the kill onto O-Kills.
8 seconds, time ticking down. Harper will need to stick the plan for P9 in a position to make a play. He gets 2, but shut down by Yas. The key player for Dplus stepping up in this first round.
That's a massive kill from Yas. As the Guardian there for Harper to get the plant down. If Yas doesn't get that kill, that plant gets denied. Time runs out, Falcons win the round. Instead, plant goes down. Now it's a 2 versus 1. And as great as his reputation is for Joker 619, surely this is too much for him. As great as he is, just has to stick it. Has to just hope that Dplus have made a bit of a mess here, that they fumbled the bag, does get the kill. Has to now surely stick this one. Yes, is he close enough to go for the quick swing? He's walking up very slowly here, almost too slow. He gets on, Joker 619!
Did he get it?
Does he have it? Has he got the time? We all hold our collective breaths. Joker 619, the living legend.
He is that guy. We need a replay as to how close that was, but that was cutting it fine there. But what a clutch in the 1v2. Joker being able to just bait out both players in the post, hitting the perfect shot and getting back on that diffuser just in time.
A_Joker_619 comes up in the clutch to save that round, and it's a big round. Aviator Games always one of the better sites for the defending teams, and it was a good opportunity for Dplus. You know, it wasn't probably one of their cleanest attacking rounds, but yet they actually were quite efficient when they started attacking these sites. This is, of course, though, the big replay. 15 seconds, gets off, gets the kill, and he just trusts his instincts. So actually a little slow to get back on the counter defuse as well. How close was that? 0.16 seconds.
That's not very long.
It's not.
Blink and you miss it.
100%.
10 seconds remaining.
I have to, in some ways, question their Dplus. It's a double individual swing onto the counter diffuser as well, right? They can play that together. And instead, they kind of go solo, both of them. And
well, they fell so far back in the post. They
too
left
far back.
no room for error. They were forced to sprint forward and then had to land the shot, which they didn't. And they didn't have the backup because they went 1 by 1. So, look, not particularly well played there by Dplus, but I think full credit to Joker. You cannot play a post much better than that.
Prior to that, though, not too shabby from Dplus. At least opened up vault, decent push through landing as well. So they were at least able to have a decent round. Competitive. It's something. We'll take it. So Falcons, though, they take the round. That's all that really matters. And we head over towards Stat Trophy now for the second round. Obviously, Dplus will probably be kicking themselves that they couldn't capitalize on that opening round. They have to just make sure they stay locked in, stay focused here.
P9 then, aggressive over towards bathroom. Coded with the Ying. Candela goes out, he should be blind, but Valentino is not. That's Yas down. P9 spotted. But Dplus can't really action off that information, but he walks into the line of sight, coded on the rappel.
Yeah, it's a wonderful shot. Tight angle as well. Valentino still just battling over towards the closet, has a couple of ADSs. Oh, he's completely flash disorientated, but he stays alive. Didn't actually die to the player outside of closet. Madskills now pushes out to try and give a little bit more pressure over towards bedroom. So you can really see Falcons trying to do as much as possible in denying that push in through bedrooms to keep bathroom secure as well. And then with that Astro, but to the credit of Dplus, they're hitting some really good shots until O-Kills. Top of backstairs, peeks up, gets the kill onto Soldier.
It's at this point, Dplus just need to stabilize a little bit. They have 2 drones, try to make the most of them. Find a bit of information. They could get O-Kills on a bit of an island. Mad Skills, they're locking down sight. Probably the danger man in this position. Minute to go. Coded elects to rotate. Very precarious vault, though.
Just under a minute remaining. And Woogieman is low, a little bit vulnerable, and obviously half health as well for O-Kills. Drone goes out, so Harper at least can get a lot more information through Boogeyman. Had a bathroom in towards Astro, but O'Kill's silent. Is he going to catch off guard? Coated, kind of, got him low. Coated, another really good shot. So the individual shots have come through for Dplus. As Matskill's on site now, he can't get any more than just the one. Dplus respond. After their kerfuffle on AVG, they get the site of stat trophy. It's 1-1 here on Villa.
Early days, but it does feel like this is going to be a real back and forth game, right? And the first 2 rounds have been indicative of that. Very, very close, both literally coming down to posts or 1v1s, however you want to frame it. Some good work there, though, from dpluskia. And I think they're doing a good job of weathering that initial storm, right? Team Falcons are right in their face. They are playing incredibly aggressive on entry to try and deny any sort of map control. But Dplus just did enough to make these players feel uncomfortable. They dislodged Valentino as well, which is always going to be tricky. And then from there, just able to trade out well enough in the 3v2.
Do you think it was too aggressive from Falcons? Because it's one thing to try and defend the entry push in towards bathroom. It's another to commit basically one. When you go into closet, it's hard to get out of that position. You've got to get at least one. And I just feel like at that point, Falcons have almost overloaded that position a little bit. Couple of nice shots from Dplus. Suddenly it opens it up. You see Madskills then has to backfill in. So you're then drawing pieces away from other positions, especially trophy side. But I think that's the way that Falcons want to play. They want to be aggressive. They want to make sure that Dplus can't get the easy entries.
Yeah, you may as well test the waters. If it doesn't work, you can make a couple of adjustments for the reattempt. I personally liked it. I think it was all right. And they also prioritized the right operators in the right positions to enable the likes of the Solace to be up late round when you actually want that operator available. It's not like they were sending in high-value operators late round into powerful positions. So, again, very close round. Difficult to extract too much from that. We'll have to see how that goes again on the reattempt.
And reattempt it is. You've still got Valentino over towards closet. Madskills will provide a little bit more cover with the Azami. They've got keeper barriers over towards bedroom. So I wonder if Dplus, do they sense that they can kind of repeat what they were able to achieve in the last round where, you know, quite honestly, just hit some really, really nice shots. Is that repeatable? We'll have to wait and see. And still no Warden either being played into the Ying play. We know that obviously from the Korean League, they do like their Ying, especially for Dplus. So not electing to bring the Warden. Candela straight away over towards Astro. And no one playing behind Astro desk, which is a bit more of a fallback position. So again, the aggression from Falcons, it's like right up in towards closet and obviously bedroom. Then there's one down below bathroom as well. O'Kill's playing off the Solace here, gets rid of that drone. In fact, 6 drones already eliminated. Minute 40 left, 4 drones remain. I don't think the drone game's gonna be too important though, if Dplus are going direct onto site anyway.
Going for the util sync, so we've gone back in time a little bit here. Valentino, though,
peek.
on the front foot, aggressive, not afraid of the util going his way, but Boogeyman finds a trade. Joke 619 will fall over towards red stairs, but this control in bedroom, in closet, still a concern for the attack.
And it might just pull O-kills as well away from the site because of the roam now from Boogeyman down below. That just further weakens that defense, stretches it quite thin. Candela out from Coded, still has one more in the pocket with 60 seconds remaining in the round, and it's a switch up with the diffuser now going over towards the western side of the map. Under a minute left, and Boogeyman through Vault, so they've got to be wary of the fact that they've now lost a lot of this map control. What a shot from Boogeyman onto Matskills. That's the Azami gone. That might be the round gone as well, shortly, unless Valentino and O-kills can come up big here in a 2 versus 4.
Well, it was a reattempt for Falcons here in round number 3, but it looks like the net result may end up being worse.
Miss drone?
Potentially. Valentino, though,
Gemini
gets away a sound cue, and yeah, we'll shoot that Gemini down. Confirmed on the drone. Nade goes out. He's safe for now, just zoned out. Has the cross, though, with O-kills, but unfortunately now broken. A 1v3 with 15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, O-kills would have been able to maybe trade Valentino, but not the other way around. As we just saw, Boogeyman does eventually get that kill. Wasn't traded, and he can get the plant down as well. Watching the very tight angle there, Valentino allows that plant to go down inside a trophy. 40 seconds, now on a 1 versus 3 on the retake. Virtually impossible from here. I'd have to pull a bit of a miracle, considering they know where he is as well, coming outside of stat. That's going to be very, very tough now. Falcons on the verge of going down 2-1 here to Dplus. They've started so well here, attacking on to Villa. Not a whole lot he was going to be able to do from that position. It's a good start for Dplus. especially when you take into account that opening round on Aviator Games. They honestly have been playing really well to begin here on Villa.
Yeah, they look confident, which is great, especially attacking against the sort of lineups that they're facing. A lot of front-facing utility and aggression that they're looking to try and tame as best as possible. And so far, doing quite a good job in dealing with it. As we look at the replays, Team Falcons did get the first pick, but then the lurk below from Woogieman was impactful. Then we saw the rotation of the diffuser, so it was a 3-stack on the southern side of the map, and that gave them the power to trade through, to break that cross. And then in the post plant, holding really good positions and understandably quite deep.
Yeah.
Not as deep maybe as round one,
No.
1v2, but that got a little bit dicey, but they had 3 players. They established that triangle for the plant and did a really good job in confirming.
And it shows really good versatility as well for Dplus, right? They see the aggressive hold over towards closet bedroom once again, just like the round gone prior, which obviously they won that because they hit some really nice shots. Not quite that repeatable. So what do? They obviously then send it over west side. They had the roam down below. So they adjust, they adapt. Despite even winning the round earlier, they don't go for the exact same strat. They mix it up. Falcons end up kind of stretching their defense thin and watching too many different angles. Back over to Aviator Games, though, which was just barely won by Falcons last time. 0.016 seconds. It was close. Straight in through Art, though, for Woogieman. Early establishment just down below, close by to Brown Stairs. That's going to be a bit of an interesting point here because Dplus did not attack from this side of the map last time. Ignored it completely. No pressure Brown, no pressure Study. We'll see whether or not they change it up once again. Oh, this is a wonderful drone from Soldier.
I will say, I think the information game so far from Dplus has been quite strong in just identifying and confirming key positions around the map that they want to exploit. Oakhill's not in the best position to deny that information at the moment. He's currently inside of Astro, playing contact on that side of the map, probably to counter any lurk potential from Dplus. Meanwhile, over towards Study, Util being cleared. Falcons seem very conscious of a lurk, probably from basement, making sure that it doesn't catch them off guard. Woogieman, though, on the prowl. Joker 619 as well, and Library elsewhere, though, coded. The first real engagement, it would seem, in round 4. Call will go out. Woogieman looking to progress forward.
Yeah, and it's a double stack side as well for Falcons, kind of stat trophy side, or at least it was. So showing presence pretty much across the entire top floor. Valentino falls back a little bit now on the orange. But what this means is for Woogie over towards Red Stairs, he might be able to catch 1 or 2 of them. Especially Valentino just got the kill on Dakota. Yeah, there's the kills. There was one more here, although it has fallen off. Just over a minute remaining, but at least Red Stairs control. There is Valentino below. So that is actually very precarious now. Because I don't think that Woogieman is going to be expecting it. Never mind, he might very well be. And they might just clash here. Valentino was low on health, still is. Fakes the runaway, now pushes back. Woogieman might just actually think he's not going to want to push this. He's going to be a lot closer than he realizes. And Valentino, it's the headshot up close.
Reloading ammo.
Big plays from Valentino in this round to put the Falcons in front. And he gets a 3rd. He might be required for a little bit more, though, because it's still a 2 versus 3. The round's not over.
Kiva barriers still standing. Soldier in the face of that utility still finds a pick. It was Valentino, though, already low, so a 2v2.
Attackers drop the diffuser. Attackers
Harper now in the 1v2. 15 seconds, not a lot of time, but he does have the diffuser, and he knows that P9 is close with a shotgun, and he just walks straight into the trap. 2 for 2 from Aviator Games for the Falcons here in this first half. And speaking of 2, we are all tied up at 2-2.
What a round, though, from Valentino. Huge.
Yeah.
Applied pressure on Woogieman down below, survived that initial engagement, then pushed up Red Stairs. That was a power move, and despite a single shot being his demise, able to win out that fight, really kept his team in that round. It was a good attempt from Woogieman, but this even better. That sharp brought it back to the 4v3, then hit this one as well, which was probably even more impressive in some respects. Yes, not quite holding that particular angle. Then Harper on an island cleaned up.
That's just a really good highlight of crosshair placement, especially that battle over towards Red Stairs. Woogieman not anticipating that Valentino's going to be that close, holds the longer angle, And then when they engage, obviously, Valentino wins out because he knows that Woogieman is close on the stairs. Over to Stat Trophy, though, for the 5th round. It's been a good game to watch. Definitely enjoyable. Both teams, though, would probably think they could clean up some things here or there. Certainly would if you want to move forward in this major, but nothing too much to write home about. It's been a decent viewing.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
2 rounds to go in the half now. Both teams fairly equal, it feels like. It's a really solid arm wrestle that is developing. Dplus definitely have been quite measured, not going for that ultra-fast approach that we saw from Scars on Cafe earlier, where they really sent it in the middle portions of the round. So you can see kind of the difference between the Korean League and the Japanese League.
I think there's a lot of positive Dplus can extract already from this game. The fact that they've been able to get at least to the late round, every single round, is great. The 2 rounds they lost, one was a 1v2 post, which arguably they threw by playing too far away. And then that most recent one gone where they couldn't trade out a lot of util on site. I was personally expecting, especially through the way the bands played, Dplus would struggle to get to the late round and weathering a lot of this early round chaos, but they've been doing a decent job. Falcons, credit to them as well, though. Great in the late round, especially. Valentino, though, 6 and 4, the grenade to flush him out.
Oh, he's played this well.
Located by attackers.
And that's just understanding where he can run to, what's safe, what isn't, what he should be watching when he moves. A really, really good reposition from Valentino outside of closet. That is not easy. A lot of the times you'll see, especially the Jaeger, lose their life there. So to stay alive, even though he took a bit of damage and somewhat gives up the position, it's still a big win there for Falcons in my mind. P9 holds over towards Bathroom. It's not as if Dplus suddenly have massive control either. And I love the little foothold as well down below. Woogieman, though, does get the kill onto P9, clears out Bathroom. Valentino comes back only to lose his life anyway. 2-player advantage for Dplus, and Stat Trophy has been their site. They have been owning these angles on the balcony.
That's clean. You can just see how much pressure these players are under from Falcons. I mean, put yourself in the position of P9 there for a second inside of the Bathroom. Just being bombarded, exposed to multiple angles, and the rest of Falcons are trying their best to support against that entry, but Woogieman did just slip through the cracks. He's been a standout player for Dplus in this map thus far. 5v3 though. Minute to go. We'll see if Falcons can disrupt this final push. Joker 619 probably had an opportunity. Candela in the hands of Coden.
Look at 3 of the members of Dplus, though, all very low on health. Body shots is what we're talking about, but it's still a headshot anyway from O-Kills. Blinded by the light with 45 seconds left. The Goo Mine to stop Coda. Down the bullets will do the job from Mad Skills. 3 versus 3. And again, the 3 remaining for Dplus are all very low on health. Body shots will do from here. Woogieman at the bomb chassis. He needs to hit more than body shots, and he does. He gets the head of Joker 619. He gets a second one for good measure. He has to follow. Low health or not does not matter for dpluskia. They got 3-2.
They're looking sharp. Dplus, really good work from Woogieman. He gets that initial entry inside of Bathroom. As I mentioned, being allowed to slip through the cracks. And then he reaps the benefits of that in the late round with 2 sharp shots. As you mentioned, Jake, Dplus, far from a confirmed round. HP was certainly a concern there, but Woogieman stepped up. He played the front line well. There is a replay of that first kill. P9, we saw his POV just prior to that under so much pressure. Dplus are doing a great job in making them feel uneasy on the defense. And then he has to clean up. You can see Dplus there. They're probably under a bit of stress as well. Woogieman letting out a big breath after that round.
Yeah, but they've been playing well. And the thing for me as well, that is a really big positive for Dplus, they're just winning the gunfights. Like, the Raw Angels, they are just superior than Falcons at the moment. You know, when you talk about the strategy of things, you know, where that's at the moment, I think it's pretty equal. But Dplus are winning the early contact fights, they're winning the late round contact fights as well. Questions now have to be asked for Falcons as they close out this first half on a map that, you know, can end up being 50-50. I wouldn't write them off, especially at 3-3. If they can get this last round of the half, I think they'll still be in a good position. But dpluskia, I think, will be very happy with how this first half has played, but there's got to be a lot more rounds to be played out, so they can't be too happy just yet. They haven't won anything.
Well, they go 4-2 up, right? The South Korea League played out at about 60% defensive win rate on this map, so I think it's somewhere that Dplus will be quite comfortable on. And again, I think those defensive bans leave so many options available, right? You can play Solace's army every single round, plus the Falcon as well, which you're going to see from the Falcons here in round 6. Offers a lot. Depending on how Dplus want to play it, especially the confidence that they're probably gaining, winning a lot of these aim duels, they will be in the front lines.
So Soldier on the Ossa, I wonder if this might end up being a pantry push as Woogieman finds an easy kill onto Mad Skills, the Azami, gone.
Where was he going?
I'm not too sure. It was going for a bit of vert.
Well, I think maybe he was playing off the Valkyrie till just got a bit overconfident.
Well, over a bit, massively overconfident. And that gives a big advantage now for Dplus to close out this half. Look for that 4-2 lead. Long way to go. But early signs do point in the right direction for Dplus. Joker 619 lurks, and one to keep an eye on for the later portions of this round. Obviously had that massive clutch in round one, but I'm going to be honest, since that opening round has been largely invisible.
So the Osa now in play for the final attack from Dplus in regulation. Those talent shields can be peppered around to create additional coverage for the attack and post up in positions that they deem favorable. In the meantime, Harper up above, given free reign on the vert, and that's the advantage of having the man advantage. Team Falcons won't necessarily want to try and make a play, but now they'll be forced to. A 5v3, the onus is on Oakills here to hit the flank.
Yeah, but he's making a lot of noise here as he makes this push. Oh, that's a wonderful shot! Walks into the sightline of Coda though, and dpluskia close out the half. 4-2 on the attack of Villa. Making a bit of a statement here against the Falcons, who obviously have a lot of admirers. A solid team. But right now, Dplus, their experience seems like it's really showing.
There was a wise man that came into this game and said that Falcons were heavy favorites.
Doesn't sound very wise to me.
Is it time to take a sit rep on that statement?
Well, we've still got a second half to go, but definitely good signs from Dplus to start in the first half. And again, it's just the raw aim drills. That little redirect as well, the transfer from Coda is perfect. They just look switched on. Absolutely solid. Definitely the best that we've seen from the Korean League thus far here at the Major. But second half to go. Falcons definitely have got the attacking prowess to come back in this game. One thing I'd like to see, though, from Dplus, honestly, more aggression. And we saw it on the attacking half. I want to see it on the defensive half as well. And I like their picks early to suggest that they'll take the fights. And I think they might even show Falcons how to play kitchen dining here actually correctly and play for a bit more of an uphold. Falcons were really slow in getting to that vert hold up above. They had no real presence over towards bedroom. Nothing over towards bathroom. Matskills was late. And he got caught. Maybe Dplus will show him how it's done to start here. In the 7th round we go.
Good test as well for the resilience of Falcons. Staring down the scoreline, 4-2. It's not the worst of prospects by any stretch of the
insurmountable,
imagination.
no.
But I think there'll be a bit of lingering pressure. I think as the tournament has gone on, Falcons have garnered a bit of expectation. Yes, they're from Meta. Yes, this is their first time on the international stage, but I think going into it, we all knew they were going to be highly competitive, and that has reigned true for the most part so far. So we'll see how they respond now. Backs slowly against the wall as Dplus continue to try and mount that pressure. If they start off well here on the defense, then it's really going to be tricky.
Yeah, the beauty, at least for Falcons here as well, they're on the attack, and they can definitely replicate what we just saw from Dplus. I think they're good enough to do that, so the onus is on them to show faith here that they can actually attack into this defense, that they can start to get a couple of rounds on the board, put the pressure back onto Dplus. I don't think they're a team that would melt mentally either here in the second half. I think they'll stay locked in, focused, understand what the job is at hand. Good drone work from P9 over towards Red Stairs. Caught a couple in the corridor hallway as well. Just over 90 seconds left, one in Sheets. I think that might have been Soldier with the cardiac sensor trying to get some information.
Well, it's largely horizontal from the Falcons, and in South Korea League, I don't think that's the most popular of pushes, so we'll see how Dplus look to respond against this pressure. It's not completely unexpected, though. Teams have been gravitating towards this sort of push for a little while now. So we'll see if Dplus have done their homework.
Well,
Legion Mind just to stall things out.
One thing that Falcons, I think, have done well here is sort of corral Dplus onto side a little bit. To be fair, they've really cleaned out this south side of the map, especially on the first floor here. Inox scanner does catch one there from Mad Skills, now trying to put pressure a little bit down below, and drop from Joker 619 here to just follow off that red ping information, and it might just work, and it does. They get rid of gas. So controlled, calm push from Falcons. Looks like it may be successful. Ways to go, though. Harper, top of backstairs in towards Astro, makes the turn up, but right now Falcons are going very direct.
30 seconds then, and then it's Harper to gain a response, to form a response. P9 lit up, Soldier deep, but he gets it with the UMP. 20 seconds and Dplus now cleaning up. Falcons unable to play off that advantage effectively. Oakils will really need to step up with Valentino, but there's a flank coming through from the side. It's Woogieman. He gets one, taken down. Soldier, Woogie both low, but there's no time, no hope. They just need to survive. With 3 seconds on the clock, they'll do exactly that. Dplus take the round.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one. Falcons just looked a little bit disorganized in that attacking push. You know, Oakil's outside, 15 seconds left in the round on the Yana. You want him pushing in, you want him entering in through sheets. Instead, it was Valentino that had to make the push, got one at the very least, but then they get shot in the back. It just felt like Falcons weren't quite synced into what they really wanted to do in that round. You had a couple that were obviously just playing a little bit more direct. One went up above. I think that would have been Mad Skills when he died, obviously, to Harper. So why is there like one above and then like 4 down below? Like, what's going on? And then you got one outside as well. Oakills with 15 seconds left. Falcons just all over the place there, and Dplus will punish them. 5-2. Big lead. Massive lead here for the Korean team. 1 round away from match point. 10 kills for Woogieman. He has been an absolute standout, but it's been a team performance along with that. Who's going to be the ones to stand up now for Falcons, though? Off of the timeout, heading into an Aviator Games defense for dpluskia. Doesn't get much harder than this for Falcons.
Well then, next couple of minutes will give us an insight as to how effective Falcons are during their tactical timeouts. You would suspect that a response will be mounted, but this is going to be challenging. We anticipated it to be difficult to attack through that ban phase. Dplus able to subvert that expectation, but now for the Falcons, with pressure mounting, a 3-round lead to their opponents. Their one and only tactical now burnt. They need to step up. Last round was okay. I think their plan was great. But with that vertical push, with that man advantage, they had a very small time window where they could flood site, capitalize upon that advantage, and not get flanked and not feel some of the other weaknesses that that push presents. And they just didn't quite lock into place in time. So we'll see what their approach will be here for AVG. I would anticipate some sort of split push. They'll want presence over towards the bedroom side of the map, and then someone over towards
Well, look at the nades. They've got 6 nades. So I think they're going to want to play down below a little bit here. Really clear out library, try and get the nades, clear out positions like Volt, and then eventually open that up with the Habana 90. So it seems like they really want to play into that vert. We'll see what Dplus can do to counter that. Obviously, you've got Woogieman on the pulse. He'll be able to get quite a bit of information straight down below. And Woogieman will be the big play. Backstairs at the moment. He needs to probably get at least 1 or 2 here. If he can get 2, I mean, that probably just spoils the round there for Falcons of what they really want to do is play the vert below. Soldier will hold red stairs. But I think a lot of the pressure here will be on Woogieman to get a kill or 2.
Well, information has been gathered over towards library, and I think for Falcons, they'll be calling that the coast is somewhat clear. You can see multiple players now posturing down below. Joker with an angle over towards Brown, so that's to apply a bit of pressure towards that position so they don't get backstabbed. If you're at the top of that stairs position, you're unlikely to want to peek down below, and it's coded anyway with SMG in pocket. Now, red stairs has been a point of discussion on Villa recently. A lot of teams have been looking to hold that powerful position down. It's Harper, in this instance, has a keyword barrier, barbed wire as well to assist. And Falcons may well look to try and exploit that, but they need to be careful of players elsewhere. Woogieman poses a serious threat.
And pacing right now, somewhat of an issue. You know, we're already under 90 seconds left in the round. Falcons haven't really done a whole lot to show presence across the map. So obviously they're trying to get rid of the lurker, and Woogieman, they're putting a lot of pressure into trying to deal with him. And he's just running around down below. And no real pressure coming out from him yet. He's playing the real ultimate lurk in basement, coming up red stairs late. He's got Harper above him. They are really firmed here, Dplus, I think, to not give Falcons really the entry points. They'll happily give Falcons the vert, but, you know, below Volt, for example, below sight, but they don't want to give them the entry points. P9 over towards Sheets, what can he do? Under a minute, like, they've got to get moving here.
And they've burnt 4 nades, and I don't know if they've achieved a whole lot. See, the yellow pings were not particularly great there for live information, so there's 45 seconds left. A 5 versus 5, the lurk still being enabled here This does not look great for Falcons as Code holds down the line, downs 1.
It was a double push Brown, though. I like that from Falcons. Strength in numbers, but Valentino was taken down. So technically, 3 versus 3, 30 seconds left. No kills now. Not a whole lot he can really do. They will get the revive onto Valentino. He's actually crawled his way down downstairs. Gets revived, 20 seconds. Yasto retakes the top position. Where's the player in study to make the swing? Didn't matter. Madskills eventually lost his life at the doorway. At the entry point, it's match point for Dplus Kia for Korea.
You got there.
I got there.
And I tell you what, Dplus might get to
They might get there too.
this map victory in quite the fashion.
Wow, it's so slow from Falcons.
I think a lot of that is they wanted to get rid of Woogieman, right? Because
Yeah.
the amount of information that he can feed and the value that he provides on the flank is really important. But they just didn't quite have the confidence and I think the information to go for that. The backup plan was then, okay, let's maybe try and find an opening with a vert nade. We saw the yellow pings. They were dated. I don't know why those pings were going out where they were, but they were pretty far distance away from where those defenders were located. That may be due to the nature of where the drones were placed or whatever, but those nades didn't land. So that was another win condition that was stalled out. Then they're like, okay, maybe we'll just have to stack Study and Brown. Well, there's util there. That's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Dplus played into that, mowed them down. Now they have 4 match points.
Yeah, really well played. And I think for Woogieman as well, I think he's played that role perfectly. He doesn't need to make his presence known until Falcons are actually making their attacks over towards red or brown stairs, because that's typically when it's like, okay, Woogie, I'm getting pressure from red, can you help? That's when he can flank. So he doesn't have to really do anything. He goes basement, he's just lurking, he's just happy to chill out. If Falcons want to put time into chasing him down and subsequently waste about a good solid minute, then that's a big win for Dplus. 4 match points to close out this best of 1 to put them 1-1 here in the playoffs. And for Falcons, it would mean 0-2.
Dplus do have a decent history on this map. They took down Sandbox in the Korea League Grand Final. That was a 7-1. Don't know where you would benchmark Sandbox to Falcons. You could discuss that for hours. I don't think you would get a definitive answer, but still some interesting insight. Falcons did back themselves in to leave this map up, but clearly their attacks are falling short. Maybe as well, feeling the grunt of this ban phase as well. So much available here for Dplus to play into.
So it's a study side push with the Jackal of P9. Joker down below through R. Is he going to get caught here? I think he will. He's not looking at all. Woogieman will take the freebie. 12, 2, and 2, and he puts Joker in the bin. 5 versus 4. And suddenly, while it was entertaining to start with, this has become largely uncompetitive. Koreans have turned up here on day 2 of the playoffs, and they don't look like they are going to choke this one. Yeah, takes a big chunk of damage from the nade, but he got the Kiba barrier up in time, so he doesn't take any more. He also is 11-5, and they are just having fun here with the Falcons.
It's been disciplined from Dplus. There haven't been a whole lot of occasions where we've been scratching our heads, why is this player making this particular play? A lot of these systems have looked quite sound. Now there's pressure though. Soldier down below. He's probably going to be forced to make a play. 3 attackers hunting him down below the objective. Valentino as well. Good job, Harper. Falcons now with an advantage. Woogieman and Yasto both still standing. We've seen their impact in this map thus far.
And they don't have to go super rapid here. There's still 55 seconds, so you've still got time. You've got a couple of Roteros. You've got some time to play with here. Still a nade for O-kills. Can you get in a position to maybe play the vert, get a good nade on site for yellow ping, bit of information. You've still got 3 usable drones. So Falcons don't have to rush this. They don't have to panic. They've got themselves a player advantage. They clear out bathroom. Oh, Woogieman got completely stuck there on the edge of the bathroom. That's a free kill for O-kills, and he'll make it a double. Clears out the position of Astro. Oh! There with a nice swing. He got 2.
Oh!
Loses his life, though, to Madskills. It's all happening here. But the Falcons, they keep themselves alive in this game.
I tell you what, if he doesn't fat finger the knife there and gets that to a 1v1, that would have been insane.
Well, no real celebrations from Falcons, and rightfully so. When you're down 4 match points and you win a round, you're not exactly jumping up and down for joy. Clearly, there's issues that they're wanting to work through. 3 more match points, though. Is it doable? 3 attacking round wins in a row required here on Villa. Not an easy feat. And again, a freebie for Woogieman at the start here. Joker 619 just looks spaced out at the moment. And this was coded at the end. Basically, Clown to P9 and 0 kills. The knife doesn't help, but I don't know if he's going to win it from that position anyway.
Unlikely. Team Falcons then keeping it somewhat competitive. Stringing this game on for at least a little while longer. And some decent signs, being able to fight from the back foot. Joker 619 taken down early, not having an impact in that round, but the rest of the team able to collect kills elsewhere and actually isolate members from Dplus. That's been a big issue that we've seen in the second half of Falcons. They're finding it tricky to isolate players, and they might isolate them in the information department, but then actually actioning that information has been a different story, and applying pressure onto those players and putting them in unfavorable positions. We finally saw that in the previous round. So we'll see if Falcons can roll that forward into the next.
And it just has to be that one round at a time mentality now for Falcons. You can't really look at that scoreboard, forget about it. The fact that you've got to win 3 more. Just take it one round at a time, you know you're capable. You probably know somewhere along the lines, Dplus might start to get a little bit sweaty here if they do close that gap. That's when the mentality does come into the questions. No kills, clears out this pantry position with the drone. Decent drone work here early from Falcons. And P9 will get to work here on the IQ.
Though gets the first, so that's 2 nades dropped. Information potential as well from those Geminis will be quelled. That's a big opening kill. Certainly not a member of the attacking lineup that Falcons would have wanted to lose this early on, and it puts pressure now, probably on the likes of Joker now, to really step up, have a breakthrough round, have an impact on this entry.
Yeah, 1 kill in 9 rounds, basically, for Joker 619. I guess that's where the 1 and the 9 come from.
Oh.
But maybe a chance to redeem himself. Obviously had that clutch legendary round to start with, but has been quiet since. Minute and a half remaining. Down a player, but not down and out just yet for the Falcons. Pushing closer to sight, clearing out sheets. Still a lot of presence above, though, for Dplus, so Falcons aren't really going to have the vert, and Woogie Man's going to find himself a freebie on to P9, unless he's ready for it. Makes the run back up. Oh, no! P9 might be the one that gets the freebie, and he does, or yes! Up close, though, there's a second. It was Woogie Man, and I don't think he was ready for it. Woogie's low, he got the kill. Coated, half health, he gets the kill on to Valentino, and time has well and truly run out for the Falcons. dpluskia. 7-3, clean victory for the Korean League. They are on the board here at the Major.
Well, Valentino, this was a little bit of a rougher game for yourself. I know you mentioned just a few seconds ago. Talk to me about how you guys are feeling emotionally.
Well, of course, losing won't feel nice.
Yeah.
We came short. We really didn't play our own game. They played better than us. It is what it is. We can't do anything about it.
So you guys yesterday, particularly against DZ, ended up having a weaker attacking side. Are there any specific changes that you've noticed you need to be making as a team?
We thought about something different, but it didn't work out as well. Like yesterday, the execution was bad. Today, the whole thing was bad on attack. So there is no excuses, nothing. We just played bad, that's it.
Okay. And having played two teams outside of your region in the past 2 days, obviously events like this give you the opportunity to do so. Are there any kind of regional differences you might have picked up on? How is the experience of playing against other regions?
I mean, we are gaining experience throughout the major.
Yeah.
We still have a shot at the major tomorrow, and the best of 3 as well. Hopefully, we'll play better than today. Regarding the regions, it's different between every single region. Everyone got his own play style. We try to adapt as much as we can. We did that in phase 1 or in the play-ins, and now in the playoff, it's not working. We need to sort it out as soon as possible. Yeah.
And what's the support from the MENA region kind of been like for you guys?
I mean, it's amazing. The support has been massive. We actually appreciate it so much. And hopefully we don't let MENA down.
And obviously the next match that you guys end up having, it's now or never for all of you. What's the game plan? What's the approach?
I mean, it's now or never. You said it.
Now or never.
Now or
But
never.
for yourself and your team, is everybody feeling pretty confident? Obviously after that game, it's got to be tough.
I mean, we always feel confident. A lose is not like the end of the world.
Yeah.
We lost the battle, we might win the war, but we'll do our best.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining me, and best of luck for that
Thank you
final
so
game.
much.
Boys, now or never for the side of Falcons. How are we feeling about how that game panned out?
I don't think it was going entirely as we anticipated it to, Fresh. I think we were expecting a little bit more fight there. Obviously, you know, GG to Falcons, and you know, good on Valentino for coming on and doing the losers interview. It's never an easy thing to do. And it wasn't really the easiest game to watch, Fresh.
No, it really wasn't. I thought, you know, first and foremost, I think if we talk about the winners and we talk about dpluskia, I thought they were genuinely excellent today. I thought they came in with a great game plan. I thought, one thing I didn't say in the pre-game is that their attacks yesterday against Sonics were good, but they threw a couple of post plans. That is something they need to work on, because they've thrown 3 of the 13 retakes in this tournament are attributed to them. However, their game plan of staying together, staying close, staying compact, having a buddy system so they were never alone, they could never be subject to that aggression in a big way. And I think there was only one round where Valentino got a big free.
It didn't happen in a big way. Round 1 was a hell of a round from Joker. He actually got the post plank clutch.
Yeah.
And again, we were sat there thinking, alarm bells are going off here. dpluskia, they're doing the same thing they did yesterday against Sonics. Please don't go to all the effort of getting the plant down and then throw it away, especially when there's only one player alive. But they did manage to stabilize. And let's be honest, they went on a little bit of a streak in rounds.
Well, I think for both of these teams, they certainly want to be making their regions proud, especially Dplus, considering the fact that none of their players have actually previously won a major as well. So do you think elements and factors like that really play on their minds as well?
I think it creates a little bit of pressure, you know, with not just Dplus, but Scars and, you know, Falcons, where you're essentially representing an entire league or an entire region. There's obviously a lot of pressure because people will support you, but that creates the pressure that you want to do well for them. So I think it was very important for Dplus today to come out and get a win, you know, the same as it would have been for Falcons had they got it.
Well, it's going to be M80 versus NIP coming up next. I know you're not going to be here anymore. We're going to have Jesse here instead, but give me your brief thoughts on that.
I don't know which way I want this one to go, I'll be honest with you. I'm really unsure. I like watching M8 play. I've got a little bit of old bias for NIP, but I'm just going to sit on the middle for this one and enjoy it as a viewer.
All right, wonderful stuff. Well, we'll be back very